What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? The chatterbox. We got a couple. I bet you Punny's in there. I bet you Punny's
Yeah, he was there from earlier. Yep.
Yeah. It looks like he was in there before we were, even I was logged in.
Yep.
So what's up, chatterbox? What's up, Sick? And Realist will join us in a second here. He's getting all prepped up, or I think he was having a beauty sleep. He has to wake up, fix his makeup, and join us for a second.
His hair, all of that.
And his hair and all that. And, we came on yesterday morning when we got the news about the CMA putting the ban hammer on Microsoft and Xbox, saying, nope, we don't approve of this. We don't like this. We saw all these bullet points, 100 of them, until we got to 100 and said, cloud gaming, nah, we're gonna go ahead and block this. While everybody else in the world, this region said, nah, it's cool. That region said, nah, man, go for it. This other one right here, it's like, we know what, we don't even care. And then all these other companies in the industry are saying, man, you do what you need to do, because they know when it's their time to absorb a company, they're going to want the backing of other companies too.
Yeah.
So they don't want to go through what's going on right now, because they're watching everything, they're seeing what's happening with the CMA and Microsoft and Activision, and saying, if this is what's going on, we got to watch what's going on. Maybe, say it's cool that you guys buy Activision, because when the time comes, we kind of want that. Like, I want you to scratch my back too,
Mm-hmm.
So, but now there's news about collusion with Lena Khan.
Yeah, because apparently Lena Khan flew over to go see the CMA. What was it, last week or whatever?
I thought I read that somebody from the CMA flew to the U.S. and they spoke, and then that's where all the rumors came up. I don't know. Maybe, maybe
one way or another. Yeah, I thought either Lena Khan went to see them or they went to see, either way, they spoke face to face. So yeah, man, I don't see why they would have to do that, so that's not kosher. I mean, like it was explained yesterday and this is the talking point everybody's saying, because it's just that simple. When everybody's saying the same thing, here's Realist. What's up, homie?
Yeah,
what's up? I'm in here.
Yep. So so when everybody was saying, everybody's generally been saying the same thing. It's kind of sus that they said all these things, Microsoft worked on all these things, and then they come out of left field with something that was never addressed, something that is logically not even, a point to really be had at this early stage in the life of cloud gaming. So why is that even a talking point? And to block the whole situation off of that alone, and now we hear this. It's just like, this is just all they wanted to do, with the tweet they first put out with the eyeballs, that's not very professional. Back when they were saying, my PlayStation, all these other things. It's just,
that guy, I remember.
Nothing but shenanigans, bro. It's looking real sus.
So here's a quote from Kotick. I was surprised to learn that Lena Khan and the head of CMA had a meeting a week and a half ago in Washington. Legally, you're not supposed to be discussing active litigation. I don't know that they did. He said,
he's saying he's basically not gonna accuse them, but that's what I thought you guys were talking about, that statement there. But
yeah.
So,
they're not supposed to be, I guess it's colluding if they're getting together when they're not supposed to. I read that it's okay for them to communicate, and them being in active communication is normal, but I don't think that they're supposed to be getting together. Look, I've been saying this since it was announced. They're doing the bidding of Lena Khan. Lena Khan, for some reason, I don't understand why. I don't understand why they feel that this deal is gonna. It's about Microsoft. I guess that's it. Because Microsoft is just so big that, and other companies like Microsoft, they want to stop them. But they have to have a justifiable reason for doing it. At least that's what I thought. I wouldn't think that they just want to stop them just because. Is it because they're too powerful? Is it because they are not able to control them? I don't know. But you can tell that they are, buying time for Lena Khan. And I guess trying to get others that haven't voted to vote in their favor.
Yeah.
Because they dropped theirs. The EU has theirs next month, and if they have to look like they have support. but I don't know. I don't cloud ain't it. I'm gonna put it to you like that. Cloud ain't it.
Exactly. That was the point I was saying. It's
right.
just not really a good thing. And it came out of nowhere. And for it to be something like that, that ain't it, Chief.
And that's why I'm saying they're wasting time, because like, okay, that's just a placeholder for something else. Maybe there's something that they think they have to hold this up. But cloud, they got to do better.
Yeah, man.
That can't be really what they're hanging their hats on. It can't be.
Yeah, and now Microsoft is talking that big talk, like, hey, you know what? If that's how y'all want it, we'll just cut you off the whole thing. You know,
because honestly, it doesn't benefit them to do business there if they're going to hinder their growth like that. Like you can't treat them like they're a partner. Like everybody's in partnership, right? When they enter into these countries and do business, you know, they all benefit. They pay taxes.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. I would get out. Like a lot of people say, it's the second largest market, but it's only 5% of the total revenue. And although no company wants to lose money or set them up to lose money, I mean, that's gonna. But for Microsoft, they are growing in this AI, so they have a lot of upward momentum due to their involvement with AI. So if they don't want to be a part of that, because it's not just about gaming, although it still seems as though they have an issue with Microsoft, the company. You know, it's not Xbox. This is a Microsoft Activision acquisition or merger. It's nothing about this is about Xbox. And if you look at it, it's all about Microsoft. Microsoft can do this.
Yeah, Microsoft, not Xbox. That's the talking point.
But if they don't approach it that way, they don't have a case to me. They don't have a case in my opinion right now. But they have no chance. They couldn't even waste time without being laughed at.
Under their own words, they didn't have any chance when they were saying this original. Remember, like even they said it in a way that was like not so long ago. I think they were like they don't have a case to be even talking like that. So they came out with a different angle. And then also I think it was Brad Smith, the president of Microsoft, was like they only streaming to like 5,000 people at a time peak in the UK. Like,
well, what I saw somewhere earlier today that they're counting all the active Game Pass people, or I guess Ultimate.
Exactly. If you use that and try it, they're counting you in their numbers.
Yeah.
Whether it's not even the people active. Oh, so it's not even active. It's just everybody who's ever tried it once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even less. Oh my God, that means it's probably a couple hundred at best, if that. Right?
You said a couple hundred.
Yeah, like maybe 200, 300 instead of 5,000.
Oh, millions, bro. You remember? Do you remember when what's that game that all the kids are playing? When Fortnite? Remember when Fortnite hit? They announced those numbers.
In the UK, though, not overall, just in the UK.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't know because Microsoft has next to no presence in gaming there. So
exactly. And if they're saying 5,000 tops, and then you're saying, but they might be counting it in this way, right? That's just inflating the number. Yeah, that means it could be even lower than that, you know. And but
they also have a concern that Microsoft has a head start, and I was like, what is wrong with that though? So what?
Yeah.
That means everybody else is falling behind because of their own faults, not because Microsoft is ahead. It's because they've been doing things right.
It's not Microsoft.
And between the console makers, Sony jumped in first between the three. Remember, they bought Gaikai and even before that, Jesus Christ, On Live, the real OG of this whole
I remember
concept,
that. Yeah.
On Live. So what's up with all that?
Yeah, and if they fail, we talked about this yesterday. If they fail, is that's their own doing, not because Microsoft had any doing in it. You know,
it sounds just like what Brazil said in the first place. It's not their job to protect their market position. It's their job to protect their consumers, and I don't see how any of the. And this is what the CMA even said. This deal wouldn't even affect that. So now they want to instead of talking about that. Instead, try to defend a market that doesn't even really exist right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So you're defending and blocking a deal based on an industry that's not even there yet. It's just they're
This
still.
is the word of the day is nascent when it comes to that. Like,
Yep, that's what they've been saying about.
it's like basically they're just starting and they're trying to project. And when does that ever play out in court? But see, they don't have to deal with court. These people.
Yeah,
That's the problem. There's no no regulator of the regulator, for lack of a better term. Like,
right, the appeals process
they need someone to have oversight.
Yeah.
yeah. Poe.
Because
Poe saying,
even if they
don't like the new dudes on the block.
right, because even if they do secede with the what is it, tribunal, CTA or CT, whatever,
Tribunal, right?
It goes back to the ones who sent them there.
Yep.
And that's an issue. But we know. I mean, even if this was PlayStation, right, and PlayStation was buying, PlayStation had $2 trillion. I would say, man, this is BS. So this ain't just fanboy talk. This just makes no sense.
Yeah.
To go about it this way, because Microsoft and cloud, there's no guarantee, and they say all these things and they still go for it, which leads me to believe that. I mean, I hate using him because, back in the day we used to be like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Michael Pachter.
Patrick, yeah.
And he says that they're just trying to get more concessions out of Microsoft in this.
Yeah. But bringing him up is good though, because like the things he was inaccurate about when us as gamers were talking negatively about his opinions on stuff, right? That was stuff he really wasn't too knowledgeable about, right? Gaming. But this is his wheelhouse 100%. You think so? This is what he does on a daily basis.
Michael Pachter is an investment guy.
But that's what I'm saying. But I'm talking about business and mergers, I'm sure, come in.
Oh, you mean like his projections?
Yeah, when he does, everything when it comes to business and mergers and all that stuff, it affects his wheelhouse, right? Mergers and all of that. Like, that's what he does. Like that's a parallel line all the time that he's involved in. Not this game is popular, so maybe this age group might play it, whatever. That's not his wheelhouse, right?
No.
When he first became known to gamers, he was just introducing himself into that arena, right? Taking what he does know, what he is pro at, and then bringing that into the area, the arena of gaming, right? Now this is not so much about the gaming side. This is about the business side. This is where he's always been. This is something he's been about. God knows how long he's been, doing this. I couldn't even tell you, but like, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. Patrick is an investment analyst focusing on gaming. That's what Poe says.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is, but I still agree with him in this case because there's no real reason to block this deal.
Yeah.
And then
there is. It's cloud gaming.
Okay. Yeah, okay, you're being funny. But cloud gaming is so small. It's the number of people who use it as a dedicated way of playing gaming is so small.
Yep.
And we're so far away from it being a Netflix type of
mainstream
service whereby you can get great quality from your phone no matter where you are. We're nowhere close to being able to download games on our phones and play them like you can on Netflix.
Right.
So, yeah, if that's what they want to go with, I'm glad they are. But I'm irritated that they're wasting time with this whole acquisition.
They are.
Like they can't. I mean, they can do what they want, I guess. But if that's what
Microsoft can too, and this is where they already seem to be taking this. Like, if this is what you think you can do because you just run this and it don't matter what any logic or anybody has to say. Well, all right then. Well, it's they're already talking that talk, and there's countless Web Bush securities. There's lots of them saying, hey, Brad Smith said it himself. He was already hinting at. I forgot exactly what the quote was, but hey, maybe. I think the quote was something like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be doing business out there or something like that in the UK. like it costs too much over there or whatever. Like, hey man, that's not a good look for the UK. Because what other corporations? It was just like what you were saying earlier at the very beginning. You know, the other guys gonna look at this and be like, "Oh, really?" So you're doing that to Microsoft, and you know how it is. And just like you said, they say Microsoft instead of Xbox. Just like I said yesterday about the EU, right? It's easier to say that to people who doesn't know what's going on, right? Because they always hear about Microsoft, the monopoly. We've been hearing about this for 25 years now, plus. Right?
Oh yeah, they'll keep bringing up whatever happened like 20, 25 years ago.
Right, even though most everyone who's in charge now are different people.
Yeah, gone.
You know, Bill Gates is gone. He's using his money to to try to help
people. Still bring him out like, oh, Gates is pulling the strings. It's like, oh god.
No, Bill Gates owns 1% of Microsoft, less than 1%. Literally. It's still big money, but he no longer has any dealings with the day-to-day, other than for what's the word, consultation. But it is whether he was involved or not, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
If it's not Microsoft, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've asked this before, but I'm asking again. If it's not Microsoft, then who? What are they going to do? Allow Activision to continue to go downwards? The only reason why the stock started recovering is because the acquisition was announced.
Right.
So what happens when Microsoft's no longer a piece to the puzzle, and they have to just go back? And I've said this before. When it comes to Activision, Bobby Kotick says they don't have the money to innovate the way they need to, like the way the biggest companies in gaming are.
So right now they're just kind of holding the line. So we're gonna keep doing what we're doing because that's all we can do right now.
Yeah,
because you look at them as a company, look at what they offer, which is why I wasn't a huge fan of it, because I was only thinking of it from a console standpoint. Mm-hmm. This is a big deal for Microsoft. Did y'all guys see where they told Microsoft, yeah, we understand that you want to join the fray when it comes to mobile gaming and mobile, but your efforts will be better served somewhere else. Don't even try. It's your probability of success is very low.
I thought I read some. So this is the CMA saying that to them.
Mm-hmm.
So who are they to say that? Like,
yeah, but see, this is what I'm saying. Okay, so Microsoft, you don't want them involved. All right, so what do you want? Some smaller operation, $50 million of worth to go in there and get slaughtered, try to create their own operating system and fail?
Yeah.
Like what do you want? Like, we should want competition. We should be encouraging Microsoft, because if they can't do it, no one can. They're the only ones with the financial chops to even be able to compete with those companies. And there are literally two companies that run mobile phones. Even when Samsung tried to create their own store, Activision tried to create a store. Epic wanted to create a store, or Tencent wanted to create a store. And what did Google do? Just pay them to not do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
What's up?
And nobody said anything about it either.
Well, because nobody cared. But see, this whole deal is like Microsoft is going to have to go scorched earth. They will. They'll say,
they will.
If I'm going down, taking all you with me, right? Because they're gonna have to expose the whole. They're gonna have to expose everything. They have to expose these deals. This is public knowledge that Activision was given like $360 million to not start a store by Google. Google has something to say about Microsoft's cloud dominance, but they chose to get out of the game just because of Bethesda when they had more cash on hand than Microsoft.
Yep.
Yeah.
This whole thing, I knew this because you can pretty much tell. When I heard that Lena Khan was talking, and I used the word colluding, but then I read that it's fine for them to communicate, but they're not supposed to be communicating in the middle of a active litigation.
Right.
That's the issue. I'm pretty sure, before they've said some words that, it's obvious that they're talking now, but they're not supposed to be. And they don't need to. It's just like this person, I can't remember, man. It was really about race, but there's certain things that don't need to be said. They're already understood.
Yes.
If I do this, you do that. I don't need to come and tell you directly. You just do it because you already know you're on code. But
oh yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next few weeks because I think they have until May something to appeal.
who?
I think Microsoft, don't they?
No, Microsoft started that as soon as they announced
Yeah,
it.
yeah, oh yeah. They just, I mean, I'm sure they have like a back, like, all right, this is what if they approve it, this is what we're gonna do, and if they don't, this is what we're gonna do. I mean, they're prepared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are no surprises. They
No.
thought they would hope that things would have been different, but they always knew that this was a possibility.
That's what they always said it was going to take as long as they said it was going to take. They always
Well, hell, that was now. Like that was next month, right? It's almost May, so that was June. They thought they'd be done.
But they
with
said at the earliest when they said at the earliest. They made that very clear.
Oh, I didn't hear at the earliest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said at the earliest. So either way, I mean, it just goes to show it's not so really that surprising in hindsight.
Did you guys address the UK Prime Minister talking about meeting Microsoft? No, I didn't know they were meeting with the UK guy.
UK. Well, that's a lot. That part of that. That's the reason why people were thinking that this deal was about to close because everything was pointing in the right direction.
Fist bumps and everything.
And then, what's that other event that happened the other day or yesterday?
Downing Street.
Yeah,
supposedly at Downing Street. I have no idea. I hadn't heard anything about that. What? Yeah, tell us.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying all these things were factored in where Microsoft was going to be meeting there, showing that they were confident in the deal going through because they were going to be there. But here we are. At the end of the day, I still believe that this deal is going to go through.
I just want it to be over. I mean,
yeah, a lot of people are saying that, but a lot of people are saying that because they're just so tired of hearing it, so they'd rather just say stuff like, "Oh, just stop," because they were tired of hearing it. Listen, if you're tired of hearing it, you can put your hands in your ears and go la la la, or stop following, or go play your games. How about that? Instead of complaining about this. If you're not interested in, then
how can I play games when I got the bubble guts right now, man? It's hurting.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry you feel that, but it was like the example we gave earlier when we were talking about other things, behind the scenes, right?
Yeah,
it's like Jar Jar Binks, right? People complain about Jar Jar Binks was 10 times, 100 times more annoying than Jar Jar Binks himself. He was only there for a couple of moments, right? Throughout that film.
But that was enough to kind of leave a impression like, oh my God, this guy's annoying.
Right. Right. But all these people who sat there and complained about it. I'm not a Star Wars fan to that degree, right? Like I like the series, all that. It's cool. I've watched all the films.
It's cool.
Well, right? It's cool. It's cool. I have no hate against Star Trek at all, although Star Wars, I'm more of a Star Trek person, right? Like I just finished watching Picard. I thought it was a great series, all like that, right? Well, at least the season was. The last season, not so much, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, right? It just goes to show, like, objectively speaking, what's up with all of this? It just makes no freaking sense. That's all.
Yeah. There's not much more else. I mean, all we can do is just wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
So do you have doubt now, Tech?
Well, we talked about this yesterday. It doesn't, to me, at the end of the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter to me. If Microsoft gets it, fantastic. If they don't get it, oh well. That's just the way things go. I'm not gonna. This being shut down yesterday, we talked about this yesterday.
It doesn't really affect you.
It doesn't affect me. I'm still gaming on Xbox. I'm still getting the games that I want from Game Pass. I'm buying the games that I do want. If it's not on Game Pass, I'm not any worse right now because of yesterday's news, right? Yeah. And even if it went through, what would it change for me? Other than maybe games are coming to Game Pass, that's pretty much it.
But what game?
It's not a life-changing experience for me.
What game, right? We get Diablo every decade. We get Call of Duty every year. But other than that, what games are we really excited for when it comes to Activision?
Exactly.
That's why I was never a huge fan of it.
But and complain about all this, yeah.
But if Microsoft is genuinely trying to get into the mobile space, I mean, I wouldn't mind, seeing Windows Phone reloaded.
Heck yeah, man!
You know what I mean? Because
that platform, especially towards
that's about the only way they can penetrate, like just to open a store
and they are planning to open up their own app store. I'm hearing,
that's what they say. Okay, but the only place that you can put it with no resistance is Google.
Well, if Amazon could do the same thing, I don't see why Microsoft can't, right? They took
Where's the
Android
Amazon
and
store?
forked it. They took it and they
What,
forked listen,
Fire HDs.
Yeah, their Fire platform. Let's not pretend like that's not a move that's making Amazon money day in and day out, right?
I
Like,
haven't heard Fire Stick in
I
years.
sideload the Google services, man.
People use Fire Sticks all the time. Trust me, I work at a.
I'm sure they do because I've seen them, but I haven't heard where everybody's like hyping up a Fire Stick anymore.
Nobody hypes up the Fire Stick. It's just a thing that's there. It's
no,
like
they used to hype up the Fire Stick, bro, because everybody was happy to get free content.
Right. But now that's a normal thing. So now you don't have to sit here and
man, Roku for me, man. I'll back up Roku anytime. What's up,
dude? Man? When I go to certain malls, there would be a dude trying to hustle him in the parking lot.
Right. But that's over with now because it's just common that we know it now.
Yo, you want to buy?
You know what I'm saying? It's like
right here. I got the old ones. You want some older ones? That'd be $10 right here.
Hey, look, Amazon just announced their stock price is up 4.61% after a great quarter. Business is up at Amazon. Like it's not. Let's not.
How can they not
take what I said
there? I'm always buying stuff, man.
Dude, I see five of those trucks around here every day at least.
Right.
Dude,
and there's a locker across the street, and there's a locker down the street. 5 minutes
from where I live. Right. Those trucks.
But the point I was making was that Amazon, right, did exactly that.
You say Amazon in slow motion like we weren't talking about Amazon.
Right. But I'm just because you guys are like get into tangents about what you think this and that opinion.
Nobody care about Fire Sticks, sick.
Fact, that's your opinion. Facts wise, they doing a thing, right? All jokes aside, they're doing a thing. They literally did it. And so when you ask me, can Microsoft do Amazon did it, why can't Microsoft?
I want the Xbox stick. Where's the Xbox stick?
Yeah, people are asking for that or some kind
of. Oh, you mean that thing that they were yeah, that's what you're okay. Well, I mean, I would try it.
I would try it. I mean, I would try it.
I don't those things, per se need it, but I would try it.
No, we know what? We don't need a Fire Stick. We got big old Fire Sticks on our TVs right now.
Yeah, man.
I'm not Fire Stick, Keystones.
The
Xbox.
Series S?
Yeah.
Series S? What if it had like a tiny little HDMI not adapter, but the interface, he just plugged the whole thing to the TV. He got this big white box hanging on the edge of the TV.
Yeah, like the big boxy part at the back of TV, especially when the flat screen started being a thing. They still had that section that's like a big box, right? Yeah. That big box was just plug and play, right? But yeah, shout out to the folks in the chat. We got Deja, 4568,
Nene. We got Nene
29, Google Poe, and of course our homie Punty.
Punty always represent me.
Yep. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Punty is like our main dude. He's here before I even hear.
That's the homie.
He's waiting at the door, like, guys, let me in.
Yeah, not Deja. I'm sorry, my dear. I just realized when I was reading your name again. Yeah, I've heard your name pronounced many times.
Dia?
Yeah, Dia.
Yeah, shout out to Dia. Man, we were talking about anime and video games for like 3 hours yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, cool. You into that stuff too? All right, cool, man. Because she's there on limited show, out the chat, just like myself, I'm a person straight out the chat. Yeah, now I'm here on podcasts and stuff. So good to see someone else doing the same thing. Quite knowledgeable in her own right.
Look, she winked. I winked back too. I'm winked. You can't see the other guys because they were going camera. I'm the only one.
Once in the blue.
Yeah, once in the blue. All right, we're done with the CMA set because it's tired.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna do what Six just said. Put your la.
Yep.
And be done. And
let's
then
keep it pushing.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, so next game is coming out tomorrow. I know this is gonna be your super favorite one because I know how much of a fan you are, Sick, of Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
That's looking like it got some great reviews so far, like Metacritic or whatever. I've been hearing some early reviews. I don't think it's officially out. The early reviews and talk.
It's getting 9s and 10s and 8s and stuff like that. So
yeah.
It's
looking real good.
I mean, the last one was good. This one's gonna be good too.
Yep.
So we'll see. But there's been some performance issues, and nobody's really talking about it except for this one that I found here. So it's all well and good when it comes to Star Wars, but when Redfall announced their performance thing, not good. You know. So
What about you? Mean like the online deal?
I don't know. Performance issues can't dull what
performance issues.
Yeah, performance issue, not the performance graphical part. It's two different things, but still, I want to nitpick it because everybody loves Star Wars. It's okay if they have a little bit of issues, but when Redfall comes out and they got their performance, not the 60 frames, and of course everybody's having an uproar and rioting the streets.
Hey, Star Wars is another thing that's a victim of doom and gloom all the time. Like I say, Jar Jar Binks. Ever since they tried to make new content from the original 3 movies, it's always doom and gloom from these fans. Man, they can never be happy. Even when they made this last trilogy, right? The first movie at first was getting great reviews, all of that. It was all good. Nobody was complaining. I'm like, oh, thank God. I guess they learned the lesson from the last trilogy, right? And they weren't complaining. And then in hindsight, right after the second movie was out, now everybody thinks the first one sucked too. I'm just like, but it's the same thing, man. It's just all that doom and gloom, man. It's the same mentality with that, I feel.
So, any of you guys getting it day one?
Nah. I never even really got the first one or played the first one. I mean, I'm not that heavy into Star Wars, like I said, but it's a competent, great game. It's got great reviews in its own time and sold well. That just shows that people liked it, right? So the sequel already getting some as high, if not higher, reviews.
Yeah.
So, potential game of the year contender right here.
Never know. You never know. They got a good game here.
It is not a game of the year.
Who's publishing
it's
this?
Not going to do at least what Hogwarts did.
I don't think it will either.
It seems like the safe route is to create a Souls type of game.
No, man, come on.
Like those games are hot right now. Every game that comes out, unless it's made by like a small.
Tech hates those. So he's like,
nah. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine to hate them, but if you look at critical reception of these games that are like that.
Well,
it's if it's come unless like a Thymesia or something like that.
Let me tell you,
the rest of them are critically acclaimed.
So you know how I told you a few weeks ago I bought Scars Above and I've been playing that kind of exclusively. Mm-hmm. So I finished it. Nice. Last week I think. Sweet. I did finish it and I went and traded in. And the girl at the GameStop, she's like, "Oh, I never heard this game." And I was like, "Yeah, it wasn't too bad." She's like, "What type of game is it?" And I kind of told her what the backstory is about it. It's like, yeah, it's kind of rogue, the kind of Souls rogue type game. Oh, it's like I like those games. And I go, well, it's not very punishing if that's your thing. It's it's kind of generous when you kind of you die, you come back, and you still got everything. Not really much of a challenge. And she's like, I don't like those type of games. I like something that will punish me really bad. And it's like, well, this one's not for you then, because I kind of liked it.
That was just cold.
That was cold. That's why I'm laughing, bro.
That was cold. Yeah, I know. I knew you were laughing because.
Hey man, 20 years ago, you would have like,
pick
okay.
It up.
Hint. You would have definitely would have left with the number.
Well, but hey, she got my number because it's in the system.
But yeah, man, listen. When I say this is game of the year contender, right? No matter what, I agree with what you're saying about Hogwarts and all of that, and that's what's gonna win at this rate thus far, right? But once again, listen to words I said. Game of the year contender, because at this point, at the end of April, right, the 4th month of the year, so that's the first 30 years is about to end now. What's really on the list for game of the year contenders is this? It's Hogwarts. What else has been released thus far that you deserves to be on that list?
Don't go there because I went there. What was that? Last year, this year, I went there. All right, and we got cat game.
Hey man, I'm not worried about what clowns. I'm talking about
no. This is not clowns. Okay, you can talk gamers, but we don't control that, and that's what I'm saying. I was like, all right, man, this is a weak game. This is a weak year for gaming, right?
Hi-Fi Rush, yes. That's the 3 you can name right now.
Yeah, whatever. Look.
That's the 3 you can name. I'm not saying it's deserving or what.
It should. Psychonauts should have won, in my opinion.
Right. I'm just saying.
But the thing is, when you get a year like this, they're going to start digging deep. And they had to do that last year. And we got games like Stray in the running for game of the freaking year.
Right, but I'm just saying of legit contenders, right? There's only 3. Hi-Fi Rush, Hogwarts, and now Jedi Survivor. I don't think there's anything else in the conversation. Oh, and on PlayStation, I'm sure PlayStation fans would say Horizon. I'm not going to sit here and nitpick about.
Are you saying so far?
So far,
yeah. So far.
Now the list could change as things come out, like Starfield.
No, the list will change. You're gonna have Diablo. You're gonna have Starfield.
Right. But for thus far, what's been released, there you go, and Zelda, obviously, right.
My thing is, if we don't know how narrative driven Redfall will be, but that's what it takes. That's what they appreciate.
Right. Well, we do know it has a narrative, but how much is limited.
Well, how compelling is it?
Right.
Does it make you cry?
We'll soon see.
But their games normally aren't in the running, but they're all praised.
Keighley will make up some rule on the fly to exclude anything that's Xbox related. So Hi-Fi Rush, don't even think about having that one on the.
That unless he's so pressed by the the outside work, like what happened with
Forza.
Forza basically.
Yeah.
But then you see, we'll see what he's really if he is everything we say he is when Starfield drops.
Look at Jeremy from Down Under. What's up? About to go shopping and maybe the gym. You ain't going no gym. I don't know why he's saying that.
And plus he called me the player from the
He's going to go after some
hey,
Razorbacks
man,
and ride a kangaroo. That's what he's going to do. Because I would do that if I was down over there in Australia. Get me a kangaroo and then chase after some Razorbacks.
I'm just not a two-timer, though. That's not in my DNA.
But did you see the sizes of these games, though? On PC,
yeah, I had reported.
He tweeted it.
147.
147.
No. Xbox Series is 134.
Yeah. PC
you talking about for Star Wars?
Yeah,
Star Wars. PC is 155 and PS5 is 147. Xbox is 134. Hey, I'm not trying to talk no fanboy about, like, just straight legit. Didn't PlayStation and a lot of folks say their compression, all of that the PlayStation games would have been smaller than on Xbox? But I noticed more times than not, although not 100% for sure, that it's the Xbox one that's often smaller, right? So all of this, there's just another example right there. Now on PC, you could see where it'd be 155. There's the, because it's the platform where you have to consider that tomorrow's hardware could do this even better. So nowadays, they keep that in mind and give you the full textures or whatnot, or at least a pack to download after the fact. So I could see that being 155 plus. There's hardware.
Just say 150 gigs for a video game.
155 gigs. 147
a single player game.
134 even on Xbox. That's ridiculous. That's GTA sizes, right?
I mean, wasn't people complaining about Call of Duty being like 100 and something at one point?
Yeah, they buy it every year anyway.
And then we got this one. Oh, it's crazy. Jamie says over here, I need to lose weight for hernia surgery. Oh man, I'm sorry. And then that's gotta hurt, man.
He's like, I'm down good work, man. Keep going.
I'm down from 126 kilogram to 114 kilogram. I don't even know what a kilogram is, dude. I'm an American weight system here, okay? So I'm on the pounds.
Yeah, but still, I know that I believe that actually it counts for more. So what he's saying here, that's actually,
dude, I want to lose 30 pounds, dog. I don't know how.
Good for him, man. Good for you. I know that ain't easy,
Razorbacks. That's what he's doing. That's how.
Congratulations, man. Sometimes the necessity is the best motivator for people losing weight and things like that, because a lot of people, they won't do what they need to do until they have to. So I just look at sometimes it's a blessing in disguise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shout out to Wilkin there in the chat.
So I think we already talked about this, but hey, why the heck not? Because it's coming out next week. It's Redfall. Comes out next Tuesday. Game Pass day one. I already downloaded it. It's already been downloaded on my system. Now I just gotta wait for it to go live.
Yeah, that's another game that I had tweeted out the sizes. I'm looking at my account right now to see if I can find it. I'll tell you.
I'm ready, man. I want to play as that. What's her name, anyways? The girl in the purple.
Lila.
Lila.
I don't know what colors. I don't know what colors they wear. So I don't want to give you the wrong one.
She's purple. She got that purple.
Yeah. Her motif is purple. Yeah.
I just hope I can change the weapons. I don't want to be a sniper because it looks like that's what she is, right?
That's the dude.
Oh, is it?
That's the dude. Yeah. I think she has a shotgun. I think it's her.
Yeah, a lot of people like the elevator. Depending on how good it is, I'll probably play with at least 2 characters.
Come on, man. You know you're gonna play and finish it. Come on.
Of course, I'm gonna play it and finish it. But what I'm saying is, I'll play it more than once. I don't know if you have to go through the entire game with 1 character. If you do, then yeah, I'll probably do it twice. If I like it, and I should. There's not a game they released that I didn't like.
We need a team up. And then
Absolutely, but we were supposed to team up on Diablo. You and Legal, y'all are the worst.
Okay, I found it.
What are you talking about?
Redfall is
yeah, like nobody sees y'all.
Are you serious? You don't see me?
Y'all probably private. I see you on PlayStation.
I hate having that thing. I gotta check on it because I never mess with the settings. I just leave it alone.
Oh, well, okay. So I found the file sizes for the game on Series X. It's 7.31, and on PC 94.3 gigabytes. So 3/4 of a gig on 77. I was saying it was 3/4 of a terabyte. No, that's not. That would be 750. Yeah, 77.3. That's getting to be quite average nowadays. You know, half the size of the other game we were talking about, and then on PC 94.3, pretty large.
Yeah, but getting back into like the whole compression thing, I don't think either one is being used, Kraken or Velocity.
Yeah, it's been used effectively, if that.
I don't think they're being used at all because there's no difference in file sizes.
Oh, for Star Wars?
Yeah, period. Like, why would you use it a little bit? They're not using that crap, man. Or you mean the amount of games that actually do use it?
Yeah, I don't even know.
No. What I'm saying, you said that they're using it a little bit. That's like,
no. Not just gonna use it within one game, as in
just this part.
No. I don't mean like in a game they're using a little bit, like a little sprinkle of it in X game. I mean like overall, like how often do you really see these games using either one of these technologies on the respective systems? Right? It's like
just a little
maybe 5%, let's say, of all games that are released that could be using it. Most of them,
man, 5% is generous. I can't remember the last game I saw that seemed like it would be like asset heavy, and I'm like, and I look at the download size, and I'm like,
and you're like, oh, that's not
this
so
is
big.
slow.
Right.
They must be using Velocity. Like, nah, I've never seen it. Like, I don't think they're using it. They should. Another thing that I talked about yesterday, these games are not being utilized. They're not utilizing the tools. These devs, they're not using FSR. They're not utilizing VRS. They're not utilizing anything, right? A lot of these games that are having challenges, they're trying to run them at 1080 when they should be trying to run them at 720 with FSR enabled. Like, they're not doing any of these things. And
so it's the devs being lazy on their part.
I'm not gonna say lazy. I'm gonna say incompetent, because you have to build competency. Like these consoles come out every generation, and it takes them half a generation to figure them out.
But wouldn't it make them look bad? The studio look bad if they're not using the right tools and make the game look its best with the hardware that's being presented. It's like, we're giving you the tools. Here's the hardware. The hardware's not going to change. Make it the best it can be. Well, you know, we just don't know how to use it. I'm like, well, what kind of studio are you? I don't know.
And then another thing with, like, you have these, I guess, dates, right, and markers that have to be hit. So they'll release a game that's not finished. They'll release it sooner than they should. I've said, look, if Xbox isn't ready, you want to prioritize PlayStation, fine. If people don't take it personally, whatever, because we're getting the lesser versions of these games, right, until they patch them. So why not just wait, release Switch the best you can to Xbox?
Yeah,
they release them all on the same day. One has to deal with it. We supposedly have the most powerful console, and the lesser console always has the best versions. Day one.
All right. Suppose I don't know if I should follow it up with this. When you're at a job and there's a new way to do something, most people stick to the old ways because it's human nature. You know, a lot of people told me it's better to wipe your butt when you're sitting down. I go against the grain. I stand up and wipe my butt. I'm not going to change that.
TMI.
I mean,
TMI.
who said that?
You know who would have said that?
I don't know, but that's what I did.
Jeremy.
That's what I was thinking.
Jeremy.
Who, Jeremy from Down Under?
Nah, man, Punty. You got him and Punty both down there.
Oh,
I was
Punty's in
thinking,
Canada.
yeah. Punty's in Canada?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've been thinking, yeah, 'cause I thought that they were both from down there.
And Punty doesn't like his Canadian women. He said he wants Latin women.
Hey,
I mean, Canadian
not
women
used
can
to
be
Muslim
of Latin descent.
Yeah, but they're not the same. They're
Apparently he doesn't know
they're
none of where he's
Canadian indoctrinated. So
He wants one FOB then.
FOB baby.
Oh wow.
FOB man.
It's probably better that way, man. It's probably better that way. No crazy feminism like
Poe, you know us couch developers know what we're talking about, just like those couch analysts know what they're talking about, and the business analysts that are, sitting on their couch. We know what's best.
Yeah, but I'm not here telling them they can do it or can't do. Like I'm telling, like they should have this done by then. Like a lot of the gamers do. This should be like this and this. No, I mean you can't tell them.
They better.
But what I am saying is that they're not doing this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they should. If they're incapable, then okay. Like we have these consoles with all these tools that Xbox has been hyping up since they dropped or even before. Jason Ronald went on a tour of all podcasts.
Oh yeah, he did.
Talking about the tools and what they'll and how they'll be implemented. And Xbox saying we're empowering developers to power their dreams, right? And we haven't seen it yet. Now we're not even really into the next gen yet. We're still getting cross-gen games. So imagine how long it'll take before we start to see either console be utilized the way it was intended.
Until the next one comes out, and then we're gonna fall through that cycle again.
Exactly. That's what I said. It's like it takes them half a generation to figure out the consoles, and then when they figure out, they get ready to drop another console for them to be confused about.
Right.
That's
why some of the most successful generations of consoles is when it lasts for a long time. They really sit there, they've maxed it out, right? And they've learned, they haven't maxed it out, but they've learned all the ins and outs. And now they are less worried about technology, and it's more about the games and the gameplay, right? And of course, you have those who are really innovative when it comes to techniques, like, for example, just one example, like in the 360 era, at the very end there, we got FXAA towards the end, right? That was a nice anti-aliasing solution that, freed up that RAM that was built into the GPU to do other things, right? Instead of using it to have that free anti-aliasing it provided, right? That was a way to do new things with the hardware that we've had for a long time by that point, and when it was introduced. So you would hope this generation would be like that. Plus, with the pandemic already, set, I would say at least a year, at minimum, I would say a year. This generation was held back from being what it should have been at this point already, I think. So
COVID played a big part in that.
Yeah. But I think this generation is going to be one of those long ones. I really don't believe in this whole mid-gen refresh, particularly from Microsoft. I could see how a lot of people would believe that in PlayStation, but if you think about that whole narrative, that sounds like a fanboy narrative. I don't think Sony's looking to do that either, to be honest.
Because there's so many articles out there talking about how much more pronounced the difference in the two consoles will be as the generation goes on.
Well, of course, but just because a bunch of people are talking about it like that, it's always the talking heads talking about that. But in the end, is it really going to happen? We'll just have to see in the future. We'll just have to wait and see how that works out. But I don't really think that's going to happen. And I do think this is going to be one of these longer generations. Like they really want this one, to be here for a while.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. Here. Yeah, I think it's going to happen because of competencies, man. They'll learn to use the console like they are. They haven't begun to use anything sick. I mean, I think
Yeah.
Doom has FSR and some VRS going on.
Yeah.
Like, but other than that, I can't think of another game. And as time
There's a
goes
couple
on,
of games here and there in the background that use it and don't even get attention that they use it, but it's not a lot either way still.
but yeah, so I believe there is a power difference because I read what's going on with both consoles, and it only makes sense that it'll become more pronounced.
Right.
It's just like when the One X came out. When the One X came out, it was the PlayStation Pro was still winning some comparisons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, you start to see games being able to hit better resolutions with the One X, and then you found that Digital Foundry said that they no longer like doing these comparisons and they were getting bored.
Yeah. Just in time to stop doing that to get the word out that the Xbox was winning all of them at that point. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And if the power on the PlayStation was so great, why are we hyping up variable clocks? If they're clocked at 9.2 and teraflops mean nothing, why speed it up so that you can start to promote 10? Like, these numbers don't exist for nothing.
My man's just spitting.
So it will become more pronounced if they utilize what's available to them. But if they do like what they did with the Xbox and the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 3 was more powerful, but they didn't know what to do with it. And the 360
use it, yeah,
and the 360 had better ports.
So Jeremy says, going back to my standing up yo, I was driving, but I do know one of my mates wipes standing up, me and my boys, and the boys stir him up about it sometimes. Lamau.
Wow.
Lamau. Did you really say Lamau?
You really said Lamau, bro. He really
right.
did. He really did. No, I'm kidding.
Yes. Hey, man, try it out. It'll change your life.
LOL. I don't say lol. I don't say lol.
All right. Final subject I have, and this is all sick, man, because I know.
No, it's not just me. No, it's not just me.
This is Six Corner on not mobile gaming. What would you call this sector? Is it mobile gaming?
Handheld gaming?
Handheld gaming?
Handheld gaming, I guess.
Oh, you're talking about the ROG, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is why I keep saying it's not just me. It's not just me.
I like to let you guys think that I don't participate in certain things, and y'all assume sometimes.
Asus,
bro. Let's just say Asus.
Asus ROG Ally will
what
cost $699 with the AMD Z1 Extreme, which I have no idea what the Z1 Extreme means, but I guess it sounds badass, right?
It is badass for
badass for what it is, yeah. Yeah, and that's why I said I didn't want you keep trying to imply this is all me. No, it's not. This is all me and the realist. That's a fact.
It's the realist and sick corner of this handheld I don't know, device. So I guess it's coming out. I mean, not coming out, but it's $50 more than what you got, right? Sick.
Yeah.
Which is not bad.
That's really good from the performance, right? That they're claiming.
Talk on it, stick.
Right. And the thing about it, most of all, that makes me believe it is Linus Tech Tips. He said it last week in that live show he does on Friday. Linus Tech Tips, right? He talked about it like it literally is 2 times as fast as the Steam Deck, right? And he said it bluntly, just like that, like it wasn't even a question. And from what we know and that was a week ago, and from what we were seeing now, particularly, was it yesterday or the day before? The day before yesterday, Cognito from the Iron Lords, because there was an event in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
He filmed it, so you can go on the Iron Lords YouTube channel. You can see he did an excellent coverage, man. Like equal to what I would have expected from Linus. The only thing I think Linus would have did was, he probably would have bought a thermal camera to see the temperatures, and he would have asked him if he would have been allowed to. And I would assume Asus would have been real proud to let him, because they've been bragging about their cooling situation. about their cooling situation, right?
Does yours get
so
hot?
That would have been the only thing. No, it doesn't, and it's pretty quiet, and it's more quiet than the Steam Deck, right? And there's 2 fans, and it's this whole cooling solution that they've worked on, right?
Yeah.
So they've been bragging about it. So that's the only thing Linus would have did that, in my opinion, that Cognito could not have done. So that's all credit to Cognito. He did excellent coverage. So go check it out on the Iron Lord's channel. The handheld is looking so good that I'll put it to you like this. I want to sell my Steam Deck. I got the top end one, and I'm selling it for $400. Come holler at me. Yes, I'm that convinced by this system. Because
you're that convinced.
I'm that convinced
about the system. All about the Steam Deck, man.
I'm all about the Steam Deck and what it represented. Because I always said from day one, right, that this is the first of many, right? It's set the play. It's not the trope namer, it's the trope codifier. I always like to reference that from tvtropes.com, right? It's not the one that began it, right? Because GPD and then INEO and then 1X Player, been players in this game before the Steam Deck was even introduced, right? But the Steam Deck is the one that validated all these handheld PCs, right? But now this ROG Ally is really out there, really pushing it, right? And Valve is, and much to contrast what other people might be thinking, I guarantee you Valve ain't mad at this because they're only going to be selling more games, right, on their platform.
Yeah.
So, right. So this handheld really is everything. If the rumor is true that the top end one is $699, right? I can only imagine the lower end one is going to be $100 less, which I think for the
because they always announce
what that lesser chip
right?
is
that
right, right. So that lesser chip, it's got a third of the graphics horsepower. It's got 4 CUs compared to the one in the high end model, right? The extreme one that's got 12, right? So that's literally a third of the GPU muscle and ability. I think the teraflops is 2.4, and the top end one is like 8.1 or something, right? So $100 isn't enough to validate getting that lower one. It would have to be even cheaper still, right? Yeah. So that level of I'm definitely so, and this is something that realists talked about all the time when he talking about all these competing handhelds, right? You buying it from Best Buy. If you have a problem, you would deal with Best Buy. Plus, this is Asus, and the logic that a lot of the talking heads online is having is that Asus must have got a large order, right, of these chips and everything else, and they're going to make a lot of them, and this is why they can afford to sell it at what seems to be such a low price for what they're offering. And bro, I'm sold. Plus, the SteamOS operating system, they're gonna put it out there to put on other devices and all these things. We already have, like an indie version. I forget the name of it. The ETA Prime. If you ever see his channel, he puts it on all these little devices that he reviews all the time, right? Yeah. So officially, when SteamOS is officially released for you to put on whatever you want, you'll be able to put it on there too if you really want to do that. But the advantage is, it's Windows. It can run anything. It's got horsepower now. The battery life is seeming to be about the same as the Steam Deck, which isn't so great, right? But, I mean, for a lot of things that, like, if me and Realist was to have to do another, and I've been planning to for a while, we never got around to do another episode of, the Steam Deck show that I was doing, right? One of the questions I was going to be discussing with him was, what would you like to see in the next model of the Steam Deck? Well, the ROG Ally has 90% of those features right there, day one. So looking great.
Now, has the price on the Steam Deck gone down?
No. It was on sale for $50 off like a month ago or whatever.
Yeah, that was like the 1 year anniversary sale.
Yeah, the 1 year anniversary sale. That's right.
Is the 7-inch screen like the sweet spot for these handhelds? Because it always seems kind of small for me.
I think it's a sweet spot for like the majority of people. I wouldn't mind having a bigger one.
Yeah.
With ergonomic grips.
Weren't there at all. Like they did on the Switch OLED, right? Where almost no bezels, where it fills it up as far. You see how there's the bezel there around the screen right there, right? If that was all screen, that black area was all screen, right? And another, not nitpick, but desire.
So are they counting the OLED edge, even the black part, as the size of the screen?
I don't think they are. In fact, I don't think you're legally allowed to do that on LCD screens. So that's why when LCDs came out, they always showed you like the real size compared to CRTs. Like, I don't think they're legally allowed to do that. So You're right.
Yeah, it's my gut, man. It's hurting me.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. But one other advantage I like about this thing, besides the performance and everything else, is I don't know if you could find a screenshot of the back if you scroll down, right? Okay, right there. Can you click on that third one? You see the back flat out. Yeah, can you click on that one and put it more full screen for everybody to see? That was odd. Yeah, if you notice, it's Phillips head screws. So unlike the Steam Deck, where they mentioned before it came out, they did a tear down and they were like, if you open it up, like the way they sealed it up, it won't be. I forget what they said, so I don't want to even want to paraphrase.
Well, they got the hex screws or something.
No, because they had all those clips and whatnot. It's just that it won't be able to close up and be as solidly locked down.
Yeah,
if you open it, right? It's not really a thing because lots of people have done it and they've had no real issues. But this one, as you see, it's made to be open because it's got screws. It's got
your normal screw, not some special ones that you need a special tool.
Right. There's no special tool. You can go open there and it's a standard SSD. And the reason I know this is because, like I said, I watched Cognito's coverage, right? He talked to the folks there and they explained this. That you can just open up the back and just upgrade the SSD on your own. It's nothing out of pocket. Obviously, the RAM is soldered in, but the SSD is there to change out to something larger if you want. The SD card slot is a faster slot than what's in the Steam Deck, right? And the power button is that it's got that fingerprint sensors.
Really?
Sensor. Yeah. So not only do you turn it on and
but nobody can play my games,
right? But also, like when you need to log in to do things on Windows, instead of putting a pin number, you just touch the fingerprint button.
Yeah.
The power button because it got the sensor built in there. You can log in, to do your purchases and just like when you're doing your cell phone, like it needs your fingerprint or
what's it called?
Windows Hello. Yes. Windows Hello. It's got that built in. So that's another thing I really like about it. So
does it have a camera?
For $699?
No,
it doesn't have a camera. But that's not a nitpick I would give or even a thing. Like we would wish if it had an OLED screen, right? But you understand why it doesn't, right? Keep the cost down on things like that. But for everything that it's offering for $699 and to be twice the performance of a Steam Deck, that's a no-brainer. If anybody was looking at these handheld PCs, this is the one to be eyeing right now.
So looking at this, it's 2 times the Steam Deck.
Yeah, performance-wise.
For $50 more.
Yeah, for $50 more of the top one.
Yeah, I was waiting for Sig to finish, but I can't say that that's the real price or not because that's some kind of leak. Could be a tester.
Right.
They're supposed to announce all these things on the 11th.
Right.
So like if there was some kind of leak they can change it. I believe that if those are subsidy prices. You know what I mean? Like how do you get it that cheap?
Right.
The Steam Deck is $400 because of Steam.
No. See, that was your other conversation that folks were having, and it's what I alluded to earlier. Like Asus isn't Valve. They make devices they make laptops and computers all day. It's different for Valve, who's
but that's pretty much what I was saying when you cut me off.
Oh, my bad. Because you were going in that area like you really thought that.
No, this is why I don't believe these prices. Like those are subsidy prices. How do you double the performance of a Steam Deck, and then you're able to compete with them by $50? There's nothing to get that price that low. I don't think that it'll be that low. I'm thinking it'll be more along the lines of if the minimum price of a Steam Deck is $400, I think we'll be going from $500 to $700 on these models. Because that's just so low. Where are they making profits? They don't have unless, like I said before, I mean, hopefully Microsoft can work out something with them like they did GameStop, and I hope that can become like a new wave of profit sharing, whereby they give Asus ROG a percentage of everything sold from that device, because every store that you log into is able to tell what type of device you're using. So maybe they have something going with Microsoft Store, but I wouldn't do it with Microsoft. I'd rather do it with Steam if I was anybody, just because of the volume. But I don't see how they can get them that low. But if they can, I'm buying it anyway.
Yeah.
But like if they can get it there, better for me. I just don't understand. I don't see how, because the Steam Deck is sold between $400 to $600, and they have Steam. what does Asus have? They just want to, because these other companies have been doing it, just putting out consoles and getting them cheaper and cheaper, but they just keep releasing more and more of them.
Yeah.
Like the Aya, and what's the other one? Sick the
1X player.
Well, 1X.
DVD?
No, 1X is still like 1,400 for the top of the line. 1X player. You can get a cheaper one through, like, if you were a part of the crowdfunding.
Yeah, the Kickstarter.
Early risers. But if they can get it, of course, that's great for me. But the thing that I think that'll separate this from other handheld PCs is Best Buy. Best Buy has credit for qualified buyers with no interest, right? Xbox had the same thing, but they had way more partners. You know what I mean? And that's something that can help push this thing over the top. People can walk into a store.
You mean like the all access?
I just know the Best Buy has credit, but the all access is what I was talking about. Like if you have decent credit, you can get applied for it. I mean, not applied for it. What's the word I'm looking for? You can get approved for it, because I said qualified buyers. Yeah, you can get approved for it if you have decent credit. I think 630 will get it for you if you needed all access. That's not going to get you a Best Buy card. I mean, if it does, it's not going to be like, it's going to be barely enough. But no, I'm just saying that's but you got to look at when people
keep the credit high, keep it clean.
But you got to look at your PC buyers, right? That's the higher end of gaming.
Yeah.
And so they're used to spending that kind of money, and they probably have good credit. I mean, because most broke people don't have good credit.
Right.
You need money to get credit, so, which is kind of bass backwards. But hey, that's the way the world works. If they can get that cheap, great. I just don't think it is. I think that that's something that they're floating out there, and they gauge the excitement, because May 11th is way faster than I thought we would see any more updated information from this hardware. And I like the Steam Deck because it's the best thing that I have right now for mobile gaming.
Yeah.
But I've been eyeing a 1X. Sick knows I've been eyeing a 1X player for forever, because I just want even better performance. Why not?
Yes.
Why not?
There's always going to be something better coming along.
And at this point, after we've seen the vision, we're willing to pay that more, because we know what it is now between the both of us, right? Like, we see what it is. But I do want to give some pushback on what you think, how you don't believe in the price. There's some varying circumstances about these leaks, right? And that it seems like it kind of was pushed out there on purpose by Asus. There's a lot of you bastard. But there's a lot of that seems like they did that on purpose to get that word out there, and it was actually, I don't want to put the tinfoil hat and say, oh, it was a mole, but
put it on.
That's pretty much what I'm saying. That's pretty much what I'm saying, right?
Okay, like, I hope you're right. I would like to be wrong.
Exactly. I know exactly. Me too. I would like for you to be wrong, and I'm sure you. Yeah, right. Like, you mean that wholeheartedly, not sarcastically at all. Right. Me too. We all be wrong. We all do. We all truly do. So
I mean, who wants to pay more other than PlayStation fans?
Right.
I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I want that thing for as low as they can get it.
Yes.
But I also want them to sell at a price where they're encouraged to create another one.
Yes.
Because I do not desire to own a Nintendo product if it's anything like the Switch going forward.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can play my PC games, the biggest selling point, why did I want a 1X player? It was so that I can play my Game Pass games, so that I wouldn't have to double dip.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I was wanting to play Wolong when I was on the go, and I couldn't. I mean, I could. I'm not going to spend $60 for it when I'm already getting it in Game Pass that I pay for.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Can't you play on your full?
No, man, that's not the desired way to play, man. Just because you can, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you should. Like, I can play on my tablet too, but it's just
you got the Ultra too, don't you?
Yeah, we both have the same tablet. I think you have the 8. I have the 7.
I got the 8 Plus.
I was 7 Plus, and so like it's still the same, like 12 inches.
Mm-hmm.
The whole, and
you see the way he said to 12 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Hard, bro.
This guy.
Nah, man.
I'm about to sharp myself.
Yeah, whatever,
right
bro. But not like, it's, you can do it. but to be able to put the screen right in front of your face at the angle that you want it anytime you play, and then if you listen to what people are saying about this ROG, is that
like
they
this,
spent.
like this. You want to play like this?
Well, not that close. Yeah. but they said that they've done a lot of research for the proper viewing angle. So wherever you how you hold it, your hand falls into the place to where it's going to be the proper view, the best viewing angle for that screen. But yeah, I would love for it to be that price. I just don't think so. I would like to have this one if I could. I mean, the Steam Deck. I think they would love for it to be, like the Switch, where they can have it last for like 2 years.
Right.
3 years, probably better. I mean, the Switch is gonna last for what, 8 years?
Yeah,
probably longer.
Wilkin has been saying a lot of great things in the chat. He can't believe it's too good to be true. I understand that. Yes, I think we all agree, right?
Can't believe what?
And that's the crutch of your point, that he can't believe this is good. It's too good to be true. The price, right? And also the low wattage performance. As long as it has good, yes, this is also true. And also, yes, VRR. And I want to put this out there. Everybody's saying this all after the fact, right? Like, don't expect this to run 120 hertz on some top end stuff. It's going to be on some lower end 2D stuff that doesn't even require 120 hertz anyway, right? And yeah, Windows does cost, and of course, yeah, and because it has VRR, it'll help out with that, right?
And they said
and
it's desktop Windows,
right? It's bog standard Windows, but Windows doesn't really cost as much when it's packaged in with hardware as you would think, because now that they have the Windows Store,
and you buy it in bulk,
monetizing, right? You can buy it in bulk. It's Asus, they already got the connection with Microsoft, and Microsoft has the App Store now, even though it's not at the level of the Apple or the Google. It's still another way to help to monetize and not have to put the price on the hardware, right? Even if it's to just a little bit, right? So we'll see. But a lot of great points from Wilkin.
Yeah, Wilkin all worked up over this Asus talk, man.
Hey, I can't read the chat, but I wish I could. I wish I was reading it. That way I would know exactly everything he's been saying. But yeah, I would like to not have to buy these things.
It's too good to be true. As long as the low wattage performance is good, it's got VRR, that'll be great, which is all because so many games have fluctuating frame rates, and Windows will cost. And he has an iNeo.
He means cost performance or money.
Cost money, like like basically you're.
Well, I know a lot of people when it comes to comparing the two, they always talk about Windows and bloatware and this and that. But that's what I was asking. But
and he has a iNeo Geek with the 68,000U.
Man, I have no idea what that is. But it sounds pretty cool.
Wait for this. Yeah,
it's one of the later ones.
Yeah, it's one of the later ones with the more recent chips. Yeah, and so better performance than the Steam Deck. But like you were saying before, it costs a lot, even if you get in that early bird. When they're doing the Kickstarter. I think actually they use Indiegogo, right? And then you can get it for like a chunk lower, but still more expensive than the Steam Deck, right? So this is the thing that has everybody's eyes on it, because it was already great hardware. It was just that the cost was expected. When they said it was going to be under $1,000, everybody was thinking $999.99, and now all these rumors are coming out. Even if it's $799, that's great, right? $899 is more in the realm of reality, right?
But that's why they have different chips and everything, right?
Right.
And different models are, you're going to have your high-end model, because like with the Steam Deck, there's nothing different, right? You get a faster SSD card, they say, and you get a better screen. That's the only differentiator between the $400 one and the $500 one, or the $600 one, I mean. Yeah.
Because they all get a case. Like the more expensive one just has a slightly different looking case. I think it has
slightly.
A logo on top. Yeah, slightly. Like it has a logo on top. That's not even worth mentioning, because all three get the case. You know what I'm saying? So it's not an advantage.
Yeah. So this one you're gonna get a different configuration with your hardware, and that's why I'm like, it's just I like the way they're doing it. But Steam has Steam to push the Steam Deck, and that helps them. But also, I think Best Buy is gonna help the other one get better. That's
what Wilkin just said about Best Buy, the customer service angle, which is something you've of you've paused, you pounded that into my head, right? Like you're right. You've always been right from when you first were telling me that, right?
Dude, I always gotta pause.
It's important to mention that the customer service angle,
pause.
right? If you have a problem with it, not the pause part, but yeah, that too, right? But yeah, the customer services department. If you have a problem, you can go to Best Buy, right? If for heaven forbid, like your issue is so specific, you gotta go straight to ASUS. Hey, ASUS will take care of you too. ASUS is new to this game.
Yeah, and a lot of people, are bringing up the fact that you can open up your Steam Deck. Like, to me, that's not a selling point, but I do like the fact that you can open it without reproach, right? You can open it and not be penalized. Whereas this one, you're supposed to send it to Asus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But didn't SIK just talked about how they put normal screws, you can open it?
You can. I read that Asus would prefer that you send it to them. Whereas Steam encourages you, it's your devices is their word. I guarantee you ROG won't say anything like that. You can. I don't know if they'll penalize you, but I know that if you have a problem with your Steam Deck and you send it to Valve, they're not going to look at it and say, "Oh, this has been opened."
Yeah.
Well, they do to an extent. But they're very lenient, though, to be honest. So
they do, but they're not going to.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
They're not going to say, "Oh, we can't help you. Your warranty's void," unless you like broke something and then you're trying to get them to fix it.
Right.
Whereas this one, I read that you're supposed to send it into them for you to get it fixed.
Yeah. But
Valve says it's your device. Open it up and do what you got.
But the back screws are there. It's not hard. But
hey man,
but they would prefer not to mess with it. Right.
What I do like, what I just saw in this picture is the letter buttons. It's just like Xbox.
Well, they all are.
And it's
somebody I think
on top of the buttons.
I think there's somebody that changed them. They rearranged them for whatever reason.
Because Xbox is like the official PC controller.
Yeah,
like they just started adding triangle, square, XL1, LR, whatever,
So X is for the X-axis, Y-axis, but what was A and B? I forgot there was a reason why the A and B is
Nintendo was B, because Nintendo was B and A.
B and A.
Right. In reverse.
Right. And the other thing one more comparison I want to make between the Steam Deck and this is the back buttons, right? On the Steam Deck, they're ass, right? From the those are buns. They're straight ass. Okay, here's the thing. When you saw on my YouTube channel live, right, me messing with those buttons, right? After it was over, I messed with I've never used them again since. Never. Maybe one time afterwards, and I was experimenting a bit more.
They're like imagine paddles, but they're buttons.
Before button. Yeah, but they're terrible. They like there is no what's the word where you press the button and you know that you pressed
there's
tactile
no
response.
Like a feedback.
There's no tactile response at all. Like you don't even know if you're really pressing them or not. Like, and I try. Like I.
Well, you know what? So I can find out when I buy your Steam Deck from you for $100.
Listen, man, I'm selling it for $400. The top end model, right, is one of the first production runs and in fact, I even showed this the BIOS update, like one of the first production runs. Yeah. You have to do a BIOS update, and it even says in the update warning before you do it that you got one of the early ones. So this is the BIOS update. It's probably the only time you're ever gonna see it. So I took pictures and I tweeted that out. So it's an early model. It's not the one with the loud fans with the coil whine and all that. I was very lucky to get a good one. So yeah. And,
so
that money is going right back into
all spongy, just a spongy feel.
Bro, it's not even that. It's horrible.
It's horrible.
It's like you're pushing it, and the only reason why is because you got a response in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I never use them.
Because when I opened mine up and the piece fell off, the little part that makes contact, the little bracket with the rubber. And then you have the metal part that makes contact. I didn't even put it back in. I just left it out because I don't use it.
You didn't even care.
You can't tell the difference because that's how little.
And you don't even care because
that's how little it matters.
What can I say? You did it all wrong, brother.
No, I'm not.
Val did it all wrong.
The back button's angled. along the back, not the grips.
I know. But even when I do that, right, and I could feel that they're clicking,
Bro, stands will defend anything.
They still suck. That's the thing about it. They suck even when you're doing it right. I get that naturally, like my natural inclination is technically wrong, right? But even when I do it the way like you've described, which is the right way, he's not wrong at all. It's just ass. It's buns. Straight up. I don't want to use it.
You can hold it however you want to. They're trash.
100 says Steam Deck lives
100%.
matter.
Yeah, they won't matter for much longer.
Yeah, not that much longer, which is good though. And Valve isn't mad because they're going to be selling more Steam games. I had posted a link to Valve has already announced, or it had gotten out. I think Valve had announced actually all their schedules for all their sales for the rest of the year, right? I think sometime next year they're doing a sports sale, right? Like a lot of people are going to be buying a lot of games off of Steam. Valve is going to do a lot better this next quarter in terms of sales because of this device. It will increase their sales of games just overall, right? Like all them platforms will, particularly Steam will the most, right? So,
well, if the deal went through, they would have got Xbox games too.
That's right. High tide raised. No, but they already.
Well, they already got them.
Remember their statement that they didn't even need to sign the deal because they trust Microsoft to do the right thing in this regard, and they will.
See,
right? So
Steam even knows. He's like, man, I know you got us, man. We ain't worried.
It is the same Valve not too long ago when they were doing Portal 2 and all that when they did their first Linux push. They were talking all this nastiness about Microsoft to push the Steam machines and Linux and all of that back then, right? I mean, look at them now. With lots of support.
Look at them now, huh?
Well, they still don't trust Microsoft. They're gonna play ball. You know, there's no real reason to try to fight a company the size of Microsoft.
Oh no, Xbox is
you don't have to be on your vendetta anymore.
I'm gonna have to switch
exactly.
over.
PlayStation will never win a war of attrition with an Xbox. I'm sorry. Like they almost did last generation, but that won't happen again. And even though it almost happened, it didn't happen. Like they still said, okay, let's stay in the game. But Tech, are you interested in mobile gaming outside of your Switch?
You know what? I can't find a damn Switch, man. These kids lost it somewhere in the house, and I cannot find it.
Wow.
Just like Legal was having that same issue with his. I don't know where it's at, man. And the kids keep coming at me like, I know you hit it, Dad. I know you hit it. I was like, I didn't hide it. Not this time. You know what? I didn't hide because one time I did forget where I put it. I'm like, oh crap, where I put it, and then I end up like just accidentally finding it.
Is it under the car seat or something?
Dude, I've looked in every room in the house, and I cannot find it.
It's what you do. You use it to your advantage. What is it that you want?
No, next time when I find it, I'm gonna hot glue a tracker on it. That way they don't lose it.
No, what I'm saying is take advantage of the situation. What is it around the house you want the boys to do that would require them to go searching through everything to find it, right? So that way, hey, go find the Switch. But meanwhile, hey, make sure you do, I don't know, whatever, chore you need them doing. Take advantage of the situation.
My youngest already has a solution. He's right. The youngest one.
Of course, to buy a new one, right?
He goes, he's going to be 8 years old, right? In a week, right? So he goes, Daddy. And I'm like, what's up? He's like, have you found a Switch yet? I'm like, no, I haven't found it yet. I don't know where it's at. You know where it's at? It's like, I really don't know where it's at. I would have taken it out and shown it to you by now, so you guys quit bugging me about it, right? And he goes, well, you know who can get us a new Switch, right? And I'm like, who? Santa Claus. That way we don't have to pay for it.
Oh,
and I'm like, I don't think that's how it works, but whatever. We'll just go with that. So,
kids, only kids think that Santa Claus can bring something. Hell, it probably costs Santa Claus money too.
He's like, Santa Claus can bring us another one for free, right? I'm like, I don't know. I'm at to ask.
Yeah.
So now,
so the short answer is no.
No, I ain't gonna buy another one.
No. Are you interested in mobile gaming other than Switch?
Other than Switch,
because you play games on PC. You don't play many, but let's just say you can get your Game Pass games in a mobile native handheld console. Would that interest you?
Nah,
No,
I'm not interested in something like this or the Steam Deck or anything that's like this type of a device. I'm not interested. I mean, I got so many devices that it's just like they're pretty much redundant at this point, right? Because I got my laptop that I rarely use now. I still got my my Surface Pro 3, which runs like a beast still. It just doesn't hold any battery.
Still,
that
yeah,
much.
I sold mine because I don't use it. No, I didn't sell it. I gave it away to a kid who could use a computer, like for school and stuff. Because as great as it was, yeah, just mine was still good too. I hadn't used it for like a year, right?
Yeah, mine runs like brand new and it's spotless. It's spotless.
And then yesterday I found a spare charger. I'm like, God damn it, I should have given this to the kid. So now, I put it in a box because he had moved, but I know his parents. So
yeah,
I called his parents yesterday, get the address to send it over. And they were thanking me about, he loves it. He treats it so. I'm like, oh, good, man. Because I remember when I was the kid who didn't have no money and, hey, man, other people put things in my pockets and now, I have knowledge. So I tried to do the same thing. And I found this other charger and I felt so bad that I didn't give it to him in the first place. So I went and I shipped it to him. So, yeah, man. If I could find some kid, man, I could have given away the Steam Deck, but actually could use the money and it's actually worth.
Yeah.
If it was only worth like $100, I'd give it to a kid, right?
And then I got an iPad Mini, which I rarely use now. I got my Galaxy tablet that I use all the time. That pretty much replaced my laptop, my Galaxy tablet. And then I got my PC here, which I mainly use for this and my videos, and that's it. And so, nah, I mean, I have no desire to get one of those things at all. And even with the Switch, when I did have it around, I wouldn't even play it. It's just like, I guess I just got lost interest.
Yeah, and another thing with the Switch is I wish they had just like a box, like a console version of the Switch, without the battery and all that other stuff. Just the system they could plug into the TV. It would have been that much cheaper. I think Nintendo could have made lots of money off of that, right? But oh well. Oh, FYI, private chat. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, we lost.
Oh, we lost Realist. I'm sure he'll be back.
But yeah, I mean, even let's just say I was on the road and I wanted to play an Xbox game on the cloud. Well, my tablet can handle that. My Galaxy tablet can handle that, and all I gotta do is just connect the controller, and I'm in business.
Yeah.
So. No, being IT, I'm always wanting to get that new gadget, but sometimes I got to push myself. Like, all right, hold up, you really don't need it,
I'm at the point now with these technologies, like with the Steam Deck. I had said, and that was the thing. I was like, yeah, there's going to be faster devices that are going to come around, but that doesn't mean they're going to be worth the cost to performance to leave a Steam Deck for that. What I didn't realize was that someone was going to come along and provided the prices what they're claiming, right? That they would have had this level of performance and features and parity of all of that at this point already. This is faster than I anticipated it happening. But my point being is that, as I've been into this stuff all my life, so I've come to understand that there's points in history where you pick up and you rock with that. Of course, it's going to be superior, right?
Yeah.
But you picked at a good point and you can rock with that for a while until the wheels fall off. Then you get to the next one. And by the time you do, it's a big upgrade for you at that point instead of you getting it all the time. Because then those upgrades aren't a big deal to you. It was like it wasn't worth the transition.
Excuse me. Yeah, my main focus is my Xbox games that I've got plenty of. I got plenty of that, and then whatever little PlayStation games I play, which is right now is nothing. I got nothing to play on it.
On what PlayStation?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Ragnarok to drop. It still hasn't dropped yet. What else is there?
At this rate, you're gonna have to wait for it to be up in their PlayStation Now. What do they call? I forget what they call it, but their Game Pass wannabe. At that point.
Which is do I want? I want Ragnarok, but I'm like I said, I'm not gonna pay over $30 for it. I'll wait for a sale. Forspoken, I don't even know what type of game that is. If it's another Souls type game, forget it. I'm not playing
Forspoken. No, Forspoken
It's definitely not a Soul type game. Yet.
It's like your Square Final Fantasy type of game with parkour.
Oh, okay.
You got a lot of spells that you can get, but I look. I don't know.
K-Mega is digging it, but ever since the demo came out, even before the demo came out, yeah, he's digging it. He has it on PC, right? But overall, I just remember, and this is no console warring anything, right? Like before the game was even released as a demo, right? People were looking at it that second or that time just before when they were showing trailers, and people were like, right? Then people played the demo, and that killed it for most of them, right? I remember one of them was Luca. I forget her. Luca
Doncic?
Yeah, Luca.
Luca Doncic.
I forget her whole name on YouTube. I haven't watched the channel in a while, but you know Luca, right? She said, and she's just one example of many people who said the exact same thing that day. Try this demo. I ain't buying this game now, right? That was the consensus, right? K-Mega is the first objective voice since that point when the demo came out, right? And the bad reaction to that, or who has said anything positive about the game that I would trust he really means that when he says it. Now,
are you really unlocking you're unlocking your inner game heroes today?
I'm just saying, I don't think
I was about to say I don't understand all the hate that the game is getting. It's like if you like those games from Square, then you like that game. When I played it I played the demo. I was like, I would buy that game, just not for $70.
Yeah,
because I guarantee you that this Final Fantasy 16 is not going to be much different. But it's the name associated. If they would have called this Final Fantasy, whatever that girl's name is,
Tifa, the hot one.
No, I'm just saying whatever this girl's name is. I forgot her name. If her name is Emma, if they would call it Final Fantasy Emma, then a lot of people would have been like, okay, I'm into it. It's a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
Because it plays the same way, except the mobility is more like she can fly, she can glide, and she can basically run up rocks and stuff like that.
Ashton Luca, thank you, homie. Oh my God.
Oh, you didn't. I thought everybody knew who you were talking about.
I couldn't remember the name, and you know how it is. Until you remember, it's like and it's annoying, right? So yeah, thanks.
Yeah. No, we knew you weren't talking about Luka Doncic, man. But,
who? Because every time you say whatever, it bots for me out.
No, I said we knew you weren't saying Luka Doncic. We knew who you meant when you said Luka. But she's not a person. She's not a person who's like, yeah, oh, bro. So what? You only watch the Knicks? That's cool too. Y'all in the second round. But like,
I'm not a heavy basket. I literally don't know who that is.
No, look at that. Look at Doncic is like a well, because when you said Luka and you can think of her whole moniker, then he said Luka Doncic. Right, and I said, okay, you weren't listening to that part, I guess. Anyway, I don't listen to anybody for reviews because it's like no, that's fine, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't listen to anybody for reviews. But what I don't understand with a lot of gamers is that like a game that is similar to another game that everybody loves is getting like hammered. Yeah. Now, $70 could be the turnoff. Right. It could be a lot of other reasons for there to be a disconnect with the gamers. I don't get it. I thought it was a Square game. It played just like any other Square game that I played. It was like Final Fantasy 15. It was not much different.
Like any other Square game. That's for sure. Graphically.
It was not much different. And then now you have all these people saying they didn't like it, but then like the hardcore ponies say they like it. Xbox fans are going to jump on the opportunity to call it trash. But it was literally found in a landfill. But I would not pay a penny over $19.99 for Forspoken, but it would have been if it was in Game Pass, I would have finished
it. Yeah, it definitely is a game that if it was on Game Pass, Xbox dudes would have been capping for it. That's for sure.
So yeah, the only 3 PlayStation games I do want to play is Ragnarok, but I'm not paying the full price. I'm not paying any full price for PlayStation games at all. Forspoken, and then there's the Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, which I think is out right now. And I think that's
100 played that. I believe he beat that.
I think that's like a $50 game.
Did he say he liked it? Because isn't that like a Souls type of game?
No, I think it's just action adventure. I think.
Oh no, it's in that Team Ninja.
No, I don't know who that is.
It's Square.
I think y'all might want to hit Google. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's like a Souls type of game, or a Ninja Gaiden wannabe type of game. I don't think it's.
It sure is Team Ninja and Square.
Yeah,
it's action RPG that takes. No, well, it doesn't say anything about Souls.
Well, isn't it the guy who's always complaining about chaos? That was the meme about that game. Is the one I'm talking about?
No, we were talking about Stranger in Paradise.
Right. I think that's that game, but I could be wrong.
And then Final Fantasy 16, but of course I won't wait. I'll wait until that one's on sale too. So I may have the PlayStation 5, but I'm gonna wait for sale prices. I'm not gonna pay full price for those games because even when I have those games that I do want to play, I rarely play them. Like I'll play like an hour and then I'll be done. I'll go back to Xbox.
You got enough on your plate anyway. We all do.
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah. But I noticed you play a lot of indies, Tech.
I have this generation.
I bought that game that I saw you playing because it looked interesting, and I noticed you are very high on the whole cyberpunk trope.
Oh yeah, I love the cyberpunk world. So I was playing Foreclosed.
I bought it.
So it's good. The aiming and the hitboxes is terrible.
Isn't that from the people who just shut down?
I don't know.
Origami people?
I'm just sure. But the hitboxes when you shoot and the aiming is completely trash. It is awful. But I do like the whole cyberpunk allure and all that, the environment and the presentation of it. Do you remember that old game called 13? It was like a comic book type.
Yeah.
It was like that, exactly like that.
FPS cell shaded, I believe.
Yeah, it was exactly like that, and it was a fun story. And it has I think a couple of endings. It has a couple of endings but I only did one. Like, all right, I'm done with this game. But it's a short game. It's like 2 hours long, so it's not big.
Is that short?
Yeah, it's a 2-hour game, which is good because I think the way it shoots, like I said, it was just awful. So it's like, okay, I couldn't do 4 or 5 hours of this game because it was just the hitbox and the aiming was just trash, big time.
So it's not a good game.
I mean, it's a cool story, you know. I mean, and the artwork is
gameplay.
Nice.
The gameplay is the game part of the game. Good.
I mean, overall, the game is good. The gameplay, was trash.
Oh yeah, the gameplay, yeah. Now I got a phone call. Yeah, it is very key, and that's why I don't understand like how the focus got so like misdirected over all these years. Like we went away from fun and gameplay to talking about stories and characters. It was like people will play a boring game because they like the story. I mean, that was true for me with Last of Us.
Yeah, I mean, we all have those, right? Where even though we talk all this talk, we all have examples of games that we love, despite all of that, right? That exemplify that, right? So I'm not knocking anybody for that. But one game that I want to talk about that I saw a trailer for today came out, Flashback 2, right? The original Flashback I played on PC.
Oh, really?
Back when it came on Super Nintendo and Genesis. And if you ever watch the YouTube channel Console Wars, where they compare games like the Genesis versus Super Nintendo, they're real corny. It's on purpose and it's real funny. They just had their 100th episode where they compared Flashback to OG Flashback. So they just had a trailer for that today. It's supposed to come out, I think, September or something on basically Xbox, PlayStation, PC, stuff like that. So it looks even better. I can't wait to play that.
Yeah, and me playing those indie games, it's not like on purpose or anything. They just end up being like titles that catch my attention when I see the trailers.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of indies, did you see the indie showcase that Wonder and Dutch had over the weekend on Saturday?
Yeah. I gave him props on it.
Yeah, man. I love when he does those second one. He's having another one in September, I believe.
Bro, that where winds meet or whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that like for an indie, I hope it lives up to the way it looks, because like everybody is liking the way it looks.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch it? Sick.
Yeah. I
So do you
was
know what
sitting
I'm
there
talking
with
about?
pizza and soda. I don't remember the game. I remember the name.
It's like a indie Ghost of Tsushima where
Okay, yeah. That sounds a lot
it
more
was like
familiar.
the second or third one.
Okay. Yes. I
Like
am interested in that.
it doesn't look like an indie at all.
It's a
But the thing,
Chinese game, I think,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. It looks like a Japanese game, but
No,
you
it's
could be
Chinese.
right.
I can tell from the language and the calligraphy. I don't know the languages except I know them when I hear them, and I know the difference between the calligraphy when I see it, so I know that's Chinese.
Yeah, but they got what's so funny. Oh, he's in the chat. They got games that how we define an indie is changing. Like they're coming out with games that look AAA and better in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
There's this game. It's a Souls game, Tech, but
Yeah.
there's a demo for it, and it's made by one dude.
Yes.
I can't remember the name of it, and it looks better than most of these Souls games. But those games are mostly about the gameplay.
Yeah, no Souls game for me, man. I can't do that. It's just too punishing for me. Nope.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, I grew to like Wolong. Like Wolong became fun. It went from being like irritating and to being fun. So I've played it. I
What
still
about
play
Dead
it.
Cells? Did you like that?
Cells. I have it. I
And they
didn't
got
beat
that
it.
Castlevania DLC. I need to get that. Oh no, I have that. I need to.
Okay,
Hey,
I was about to say, because you've been saying you wanted it. I was like, or you had it. I was like, I was about to say, I thought you had it already. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people who are Dead Cells fans being hype about the Castlevania.
Nope.
That like they did such a great job. Like, and there's a lot of talk like the next 2D Castlevania might be made with by these developers. Like this is their test, maybe even to see if this worked out and it did well. That that Konami will give them the right to go and make a Castlevania game. So,
but a true Castlevania game, or to like spin it into like some Soul shit.
No, not into some Soul because if you've seen Dead Cells, it's like Symphony of the Night. If in terms of graphics and gameplay, besides the Souls element of it, right? Besides the Souls element, it has everything you would have thought, Castlevania would have been on a DS or a Switch in that 2D art style at this point in time, And so, yeah, really good looking game. Really good looking. I bought it. I still haven't played the DLC for that yet, though.
Well,
I'm back on. Go ahead.
If you got nothing else to play, there's Minecraft Legend that just came out. Last case of Benedict Fox is coming out.
How you like it, bro? It came out today, bro.
I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, you said coming, but it arrived.
Oh, it arrived. Sorry, my bad.
Benedict Fox.
Benedict Fox's.
Yeah.
I want to try that. Dude, I haven't played anything really this week because of my bubble guts.
Oh man, so you weren't joking? I thought.
No, I'm not joking, dude. I'm getting. Yeah.
Look at the private chat, man.
I got the mudslides going.
What I asked him. You see what I asked him. But also, what was that one more game I wanted to make? Oh, the Street Fighter demo. I downloaded that since yesterday, but I got occupied by other things yesterday. I didn't get to play it.
People are liking that Street Fighter.
Talk to my girl, and then I'm gonna go play that. Yeah.
You got to play it for yourself, bro, because fans will hype up anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't like Street Fighter 5 the way it played, despite all the things and that was going on. I bought it on PC day one, and I never really liked the way it played. So I'm hoping this is a return to form for me to want to play it.
Man, I haven't liked Street Fighter since 3.
I did pick up Callisto Protocol because it was on sale. I got it for $13.
From where?
From GameStop.
Walmart. Okay, because I got it at Walmart for $25.
Well, I traded.
New or used?
It was new.
New.
New. And then GameStop had it for
unless they repackage it.
I think they had it for $30, but when I traded in Scars Above, I got like $10, credit from it. $13. I think it was like $13. So that brought it down to sub $20. And then I had my $5 bonus for the month. So like boom, use that too, man. So end up paying like $12 out of pocket for Callisto.
Do you pay the for the premium deal? deal?
I don't think they do that anymore. They just got the regular.
Dude, I just had one when I went to ThinkGeek. They tried to give me to renew it.
The GameStop thing?
Oh, we're talking about GameStop, yeah.
Yeah, no. I think they only got the one Pro and that's it. I remember,
okay. I never knew about the tiers. It was always the $15, but it pays
yeah,
for itself. That's what they always say.
They tried the tier system, and I think it just backfired. Like it wasn't worth it, you know. And then they got rid of it. And it's like, all right, we're just going back to the regular $15 a year deal, you know.
At GameStop, it's back to that now. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, that was one of the last things with them. I had stopped using them for years, but early last generation, I started messing with them a little bit here and there. Right, if I need anything physical, right, instead of going to Amazon, I started messing with that. But then they changed that up, and then I was like, oh, I'm not messing.
Yeah,
with
you sign up. You sign up for the year thing, the Pro, you know,
right?
And every month they give you a $5 like coupon.
Yeah,
and so you're essentially getting $60 a year, but $5 increments, right? And then but you just got to remember that, hey, I got $5 still pending. Let me go buy something, you know. So. Yeah. It works out because like I said, I play Scars Above. I think I paid $20 for it. I got half of it back, put it against Callisto Protocol, used my bonus, and it brought it down to like $12, like I said. So
that's cool.
I mean,
that's cool. So yeah,
you just got to know when to go. Deals. Yeah, you just got to know when to go and how to shop to get the best deal you can when it comes to GameStop. Now, if you're like going in there like, oh, I'm gonna walk in there and get the best deal possible, it's just not gonna work out, you know. So, because I'm always searching their websites, like, all right, I want this game. Is it $30 at least? Like, nope, not yet. I'll come back later, you know.
Yeah, they always try to sell it, so I never knew about the tiers. My wife got it for me for my birthday. For a magazine, so I always just renewed it. And I was like, no, I don't even buy enough games from GameStop.
Yeah,
you know, I try to buy the ones that I really want because I still believe in talking to people. You know, I know I told y'all the Bethesda story and how I got into Elder Scrolls. It's like people went to Trader Joe's today. I know we go on tangent. This is gonna be real short, and everybody was happy to be there. This is my first time in Trader Joe's.
Oh, really?
It's like. Yeah, it was like even the people who worked there, everybody was just happy.
Hi, welcome to
We're just opening one around here recently. I know they built the building like in a week. I swear to God, right? But the insides weren't all populated yet. But that was a couple weeks ago, so maybe it's already open now. But yeah, we finally got one ourselves.
Is there anything I can help you with?
Bro, the dude was happy to talk to me about bread, like, and then they lovingly bag your groceries, like.
In the paper bags.
Yeah, but he laid everything in there neatly. He didn't just throw the sauce with the sauce. No, yeah. He made like everything was laid. It was such a premium experience.
It was.
Say word. Hey man, I gotta say I appreciate that. I always did, but nowadays that it's so rare, you appreciate it even more.
Yeah,
bro. I don't know what Xbox has going on, but like I keep getting these notifications. It was at 5, now it's at 8 items in my wish list on sale. So
I've been getting my hits toss like.
Must be a big sale going on.
All right, let's wrap it up because man, I'm hurting.
Yeah, wrap it up. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to wrap myself up in a diaper or something because it's gonna be nasty.
Oh man,
I know.
All right, fellas, as always, a pleasure. Shout out to the chat and everybody who hung with you. Or us.
You've been great as always. Guys, thank you for coming on. Let's end this. Good night.
And he said